Hello everyone and welcome to the Paint and Picnic virtual workshop. Today we are going to be making a pink Valentine's Day truck with hearts in the back. We are going to be working on 11 by 14 canvas with Master's Touch acrylic paint. For all of the colors we're using today, it's going to be labeled in the description box below, so don't worry if we're going too fast. Special thank you for anyone who's here from our bus paint and sip events. You can go ahead and skip to the time mark in the description box below because all of your paints are already set out for you. If you're new here and you're watching one of our videos, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you like how-to painting videos, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you'll be notified anytime we make a video. If you have any suggestions for how-to videos or videos you'd like to see us make, drop them in the comment section down below. So let's get started. Today we're going to be working in a landscape style, so go ahead and keep our canvas the way it is. The first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be sketching out our truck, so we're going to need a pencil. Any pencil will work, but you can use an art pencil if you want to. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on the left-hand side of the canvas, and we're going to be making an L turned on its right-hand side. We're going to want to do this about in the middle of our canvas. After that, we're going to go ahead and make a circle in the center of our L, just a regular medium-sized circle. After that, we're going to want to make another circle perpendicular to that first circle we made and in about the same shape. From there, we're going to take into the middle of that circle and we're going to make this J. After making the J, we're going to go ahead and extend it out parallel to that first L we made. From there, we're going to go to the start of that first L and we're going to make a square rounding and connecting to that elongated J. This is going to create the bed of our truck. From there, we're going to take to the bottom of the L from the left-hand side and we're going to make a curve up and around that first tire. From there, we're going to go almost to that second tire. And then we're going to make a secondary curved line just like we did with the first one, but instead connecting it back to the bottom of our J. From there, we're going to make another curved line going back towards the right-hand side and down around our tire. This is going to be creating those side panels of the pickup truck. We're just redefining our back tire, and you can see how it's starting to take shape. After that, we're going to go back to that first tire and we're going to be making a secondary curve. We want the front of our curve to be smaller and the backhand side of our curve we're going to extend out about an inch from where we started that line that connects the front and back tire. From there, we're just going to roughly sketch it out and redefine our tire like we did on that backhand side. From there, we're going to go ahead and add our front bumper and our light. After that, we're going to go through and add our window. Now the window is really easy. We're just going to trace the shape of that first rectangle. After that, we're going to go ahead and make the door with 2 lines and a small rectangle for the door handle. After that, we're going to go back through and we're going to make our bumper the same way we made our front bumper. And lastly, we're going to make our hearts. Starting on the left-hand side, we're going to make a large heart in the truck bed. We want this to be roughly the same size as that rectangle that created the cab. After that, directly to the side, we're going to make a medium-sized heart. From there, we are going to make a smaller heart directly on top of the medium-sized one. We're not finishing off that little bottom piece, and then from there we're going to make one more heart on the left-hand side bottom of the larger heart. And don't worry about any lines. You don't need to go back through and erase those because we're going to be covering that with acrylic paint. From there, we're going to go ahead and redefine our tires and add in our hubcaps or whatever those are called, rims. And we're going to go ahead and erase anything that we have that are some extra lines in here and just redefine these tire spaces. This is going to be one of the first spots we're painting, so we want to make sure that those lines are pretty clear so we know where we do and do not want our paint. As you can see, we're just tracing along the lines we originally made on both sides. And it's okay to kind of take your time here, guys, if you need to, and kind of play with the shape if you want it a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. Now's the time that you're gonna wanna do that. All right, and after that, we're gonna go ahead and take a clean brush and the pure pink paint, and we're gonna start on the wheel wells. Here's the paint we're using. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start on the right-hand side of the front left wheel well, and we're just going to be very carefully outlining where we just defined that space. We want this to be pretty thin coated, but we do want it to be that really dark pink color. That way it turns into just this very gorgeous highlighted kind of ombre truck. And like I said, you're gonna wanna kind of take your time with this. It's okay if you overline it a little bit, but you're gonna wanna keep that same shape. After we've done the first one, we're gonna go ahead and move to the back one. I recommend starting with the left-hand side and pulling back around to the right-hand side of the truck, kind of creating this swooping motion. It's gonna make it a little bit easier for you to fill in that area. And there we go. After that, we're gonna go back around and we're gonna do the front of the truck in these two colors. So we're gonna go ahead and mix that pink we were just using and white, and you can see how I just have it very messily on my brush. And like I said, we're gonna go through and we're gonna start doing the front hand side of our pickup. And as you can see, I've included the bumper on the bottom. Do be careful not to add the headlight, because we're going to be painting that more of a yellow later. And we're going up and around the hubcaps. We're also going to be painting the hubcaps again later, so do be careful not to cover over that really beautiful darker pink color. It's okay if you cover your general truck marks. As you can see, this is a lighter color pink, so you're gonna be able to kind of see where you need to make those lines again anyways. From there, we're just going to be very carefully filling in that back
it's not
area
gonna make it feel better. It's gonna make
of
it
the
sting.
pickup truck,
Yes.
making sure that we don't go too far into those beautiful little hearts that we made. And this is another moment where we can kind of straighten out the back bed if we want to. We can make it a little higher. Just be careful, because once you've made it too high, you're not going to be able to make it lower. All right, from there, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to highlight back and around the window. Be very, very careful that we're not losing the shape of our window and we're not overlining the front of that. We want it to be just a very thin little truck window, kind of giving it this more vintagey look, if you will. And we can make it a little bit thicker. Nice. From there, we're going to take our brush and we're just going to be very lightly swooping over those back wheel wells. My brush is pretty much clean. We want very, very little paint because we want it to make that defined look and kind of show off that wheel well. All right, and I'm just covering that in the back corner. After that, we're going to be going in with a clean brush and the black paint, and we're going to be painting our tires. So as you can see, we have the two separate lines. So this is another one of those moments where you can kind of even it out, kind of play with it. If you feel like you need to go a little bit more into that rim, or maybe you need to go a little bit more into the wheel well and create this more secular shape, or like this better circular shape, then this is going to be the time to do that. And do be very, very careful that you don't overline. After that, we're going to be going in with gray and we're going to be doing our rims. Make sure that we leave that little circle in the middle open. That way it looks like it's our maybe a bolt hanging it on or something like that. It's another one of those moments where we're going to be very careful giving it its outline. And just take your time with this part. It's really cute, really fun. You can kind of see what it looks like. As you can see, I'm now going into the front tire and just very carefully outlining around. I find it's easiest to make little small strokes with the brush instead of these longer round circles, just so I can create a more circular or round looking rim. So after that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go through and we're gonna highlight our other gray accent areas. Starting with the back bumper, we're gonna go ahead and make just a little oval, and then we're going to switch to our front bumper, and same thing, we're just going to be making a little oval showing that this is where our bumper is. From there, we're gonna go ahead and highlight our headlight. This is just going to create more definition later, and then we're going to go ahead and fill in where we have our window. After we filled in our window, we're going to go ahead and go in with these three colors: red, pink, and purple. The first color we're going to be going in with is going to be a very pretty red, and we're just going to start by highlighting that first large heart, making sure that we're not covering that smaller, medium, or even the second smaller heart to the right hand side. So we're just very carefully filling this in, being very, very careful. Once you get too much of that red onto those other sides, it's really hard to correct. This is going to be one of those moments where you're going to want to be really slow with it, and you're going to want to make more and more of a heart-like shape as we're just slowly outlining and filling in this larger heart. And it's going to be super gorgeous when it's done. We just want to make sure we're really taking our time with it, like I said, because of that red color. Now, after we go in with the red, we're going to go ahead and switch colors, and we are moving on to the purple. You do not have to switch to a clean brush for this. Just make sure you have the majority of the red paint off of your brush.
Why?
As you can see, I'm still being very cautious with this red heart. It took me quite a bit of time.
So what do you do for...
All right, like I said, now we're going in after we finished that larger heart, and we are filling in the hearts that are smaller purple. As you can see, I've started off to the right hand side, and we're just very carefully filling it in, making sure that I don't cover into that medium-sized heart. After we're done with that one, we're going to go ahead and move on to the smaller one. This is where we can kind of overline into that red if we want to. Because this purple is a darker color, it'll be a little bit more forgiving. But do be careful when you get more towards the bottom of the truck that we're not overlining that heart. We want to keep that truck bed a nice, crisp, straight line. And after that, we're going to be working on our last heart, and we're going to be painting it this really beautiful pink color. And this is another one of those moments where, because we're working with a lighter color, we can go ahead and overline a little bit if we want to. Once again, though, do be careful that we're not overlining into our truck bed. As you can see, I've just outlined the one side, and now I'm going through and I'm outlining the other side with this pink. And this is just the straight pink color. We haven't added any white or mixed it or anything. Just this last little piece. Okay, now after that, we're going to be going in with a yellow and putting on our headlight. Now from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go in with a gray and a white color, and we are just going to be highlighting all of those little areas. So first we're going to start with our doorknob and our two lines down to create our door. After that, we're going to go in with this dark brown color, and you don't need very much. And you're gonna wanna grab the thinnest paintbrush that you see or that you have. You're gonna wanna very carefully make this little tailgate outline. So we're gonna start with 2 lines going up to roughly the middle of our truck cab, and then 2 lines perpendicular to cover them. These don't have to be perfect, but do try to make them as straight as you can. After that, we're gonna go through and we're going to cover our headlight. We're still working in this beautiful brown color. After that, we're gonna go ahead and go in with this red, and we're going to be going right over top of that brown we just placed down for our headlight to kind of create this red headlight look. And that's it, you guys. That is our entire truck. Thank you so much for watching.